I'm the mom behind the mask. Welcome. Today we're talking about life with brothers. Now this has got to be one of the strangest family channels I have ever seen, as it tries to disguise exploitation and fetish content as children's content, not to mention the blatant lies and even a hidden identity. Okay, but let me not try and hard launch it like that. We've got to go back. Let's go back to when I first came across this family, which was actually only a few weeks ago. Now, real quick, if you're thinking, how do you not know who Mary and Izzy are? They are everywhere. Well, when I started looking into them, I thought the same thing. How do I not know who these people are? But the truth is, I'm a millennial, and the people who grew up on this content are now like in their early 20s, so I'm just not the demographic. It was these types of videos that introduced me to this family, and truthfully, when it comes to family content creators, family influencers, whatever you want to call them, this type of content right here I think is the least problematic. I mean, a lot of these are just fun and creative games, and I think they're so relatable, or at least so binge-worthy, because it makes people think that it's something they could play with their own family at home, or they wished that they could do with their own family. And I think it really just scratches an itch for people. It holds you long enough to where you don't feel like you're doom scrolling, but at the same time, within a couple of minutes, you have the beginning of the game and the end, and there's the reward of someone winning money or food or a prize. And as the audience, we can see a lot of times what the correct answer is, and we're kind of rooting for someone to get it right or laughing when they get it wrong. And it's just very satisfying and seemingly wholesome content. And that's really what I thought this family was. And so when I first came across them, they were not on my radar at all. I watched one or two videos, laughed, and scrolled. Until I came across this one.
Bro, there's fries on your side. Yes. What do you want? Yes. Yes. Yes.
I started to realize there was one family member who always seemed to be the butt of the joke because she was overweight and she was always reaching for the food. And I admit, even immediately, I thought what a lot of people think when they would watch this, like, oh, of course the fat girl wants the burger. And then I had to stop myself, like, wait, this is content. Looks like teenagers. What's going on here? And I can hear the mom behind the camera every once in a while. So it clicked in my mind, okay, this is a mom who's filming her teenage daughters, and one of them is being embarrassed. Let me see what's going on here. And I started to realize that these games that they're playing, it wasn't a natural reaction. So you have Izzy on the left and Mary on the right. Izzy is younger, Mary is older. And as you can see, Izzy is more overweight and Mary is in a little bit better shape. And I started to notice how in every one of these videos, Mary was always going for the food, Izzy was going for the food and Mary was going for the money. And I'm thinking, as a viewer, I would think, of course I'm going to go for the money. Who's going to go for a burger when you could get the money? But then I realized, okay, this is not natural. I think this girl is acting. I think she's been prompted to do this. And as I looked further into it, I realized, oh, they've caught on to something that works, that gets people angry, that gets people typing in the comments, insulting Izzy, and ultimately embarrassing her. And I said, okay, let me look at this girl's content. But really quickly, I want you to watch the entirety of this video so you can see just how exaggerated this is. I also want you to notice how Mary looks at Izzy, the looks that Mary gives her mom, who's in the background, and ultimately the audience. And you can't really hear it because I've sped it up, but towards the end, when all there's left is money, because Izzy has eaten all the food, she's unable to land any more bottles. And Mary says, oh, you can only do it for food. In a lot of their videos, she makes comments to embarrass Izzy. And I'm not faulting Mary for that, because it's become clear that this is all a performance, and that's what they've been instructed to do. There's a dynamic here, and they're characters, basically, and they're each instructed to play their own part. So after seeing this, I went on a deep dive, where I realized Izzy and Mary have been on YouTube for almost a decade, known mostly for their slime videos. But looking at more of their recent stuff on TikTok, I started to realize they have multiple pages. They have Izzy's page, Mary's page, and Izzy and Mary's dad's page. But for some reason, Izzy is in all of the content, on all of the pages. But I looked at Izzy's page and it said she was 18 years old, and I thought, you know what? Izzy is an adult. She does not meet my criteria. I talk about parents who exploit their children for content, and, well, Izzy's 18. She can do what she wants. But I was still curious, and I couldn't stop watching. And I saw that Mary is 19, and I thought, Izzy just does not look 18 to me. I'm sorry, but with Mary being 19 and Izzy being 18, I don't think they look like the same age. And I thought maybe because she's a little bit more overweight, maybe she just looks younger because she has a fuller face. And the more I watched, I just thought, that's not an 18-year-old girl. I don't think so. So I thought I'd investigate a little. And it turns out, no, Izzy is not 18 years old. She's 16. And I thought, why in the world would they want to lie about her age to make her seem like an adult? Why would they want people to think she's an adult? And see, I hadn't really looked through Izzy's page specifically yet, because I got a little too curious about why the dad's page is called Izzy and Mary's dad. I thought that was a little weird, so I didn't look too much into Izzy's content yet, until I did. Izzy makes mukbangs, and not just the kind of mukbangs of eating food, which, in my opinion, can be problematic. Izzy makes disgusting mukbangs, the kind where sauce is dripping down the hands and the arms and getting in her hair and all over her face, with the slurping sounds and the sounds of enjoyment. They are the mukbangs I can't even bear to watch. But that made me understand why her family wanted the world to think that she was 18 years old. This is fetish content. This is feeder content. This family is using their 16-year-old daughter for feeder content. And I think it's pretty stupid to try and pass off your daughter as an adult, as an 18-year-old, when you've literally documented every birthday she's had since she was, 10 years old? If you go by these videos, that would make Izzy 17. So whether she's 16 or 17, I don't care. She's not 18. So now she meets my criteria, and I want to find out more about these people. And when I looked into them, I started to realize, you see Izzy, Mary, their brothers every once in a while, you see their dad, but you never see their mom. This Christmas vlog is one of the only videos I can find with her in it. And if there's anything that pisses me off about parents that exploit their kids for content, it's the ones that exploit their kids for content, yet prioritize their own privacy. Izzy's mom doesn't want you to know who she is. She hides her identity so well that not even ChatGPT could tell me who she is. ChatGPT couldn't even tell me this family's last name because it wasn't public information. But it is public information. One teeny tiny article from a newspaper in their hometown let it slip. Izzy and Mary's mom's name is Suzanne Silva. Their father is Miguel Silva. Now, I don't like to release information like that about people that they don't want the world to know. But you know what? When there's a parent who's making content like this of their child and letting their child do this, yet they don't want you to know who they are, they don't want you to know who's behind the camera, That shit makes me sick, and you don't deserve privacy, Suzanne Silva. You don't deserve it. You're letting your child, your teenage child, make fetish content for perverts, and you're capitalizing on it. So while this was once a family who made fun and innocent content, except this, what the fuck is that? That's not who they are anymore. They are clearly going in a new direction, and that is having Izzy eat disgustingly, making these mukbangs every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And if you don't think this is feeder content or this is fetish content, well, you're wrong. Okay? Izzy is eating thousands of calories a day. And if you look at when she first started making these mukbang videos to now, not to be rude or disrespectful towards Izzy, but it's clear she has gained weight. But even besides that, it is fetish content, first of all, because of the sounds she makes. This is not a natural reaction to food. Did that make you uncomfortable? Because it did me. But what makes it even more uncomfortable to me is the fact that she's looking at her mother behind the camera the entire time she's doing it. This is dangerous and disgusting on so many levels. Not only is she making fetish content, right? Not only is she eating thousands of calories a day, making her gain weight. Eating like this, eating this type of food, eating this much food causes food addiction. It causes mental health issues, and it's going to cause physical health issues. People have even called her the new Nikocado avocado. And here's the thing. Even if Izzy wants to be doing this, which I genuinely do think to some extent she wants to be doing it, it's her parents' job to protect her from doing things like this. This is potentially life-altering. This is life-altering to her physical state, and this is life-altering to her mental state. So even if you take out the fact that she's making fetish content, even her making mukbangs where she's eating this much food, this type of food, every single day is destructive. And her parents are capitalizing on it. No more are the fun slime videos they once were making a bunch of money off of. I don't understand why they're not making those videos anymore. You can see just from Mary's videos the amount of views that she got from them. These were successful videos. It was a successful niche. I don't really know why they're switching to these mukbangs with Izzy, but it's dangerous. Not only that, but subjecting a young girl, or anyone for that matter, to these type of comments and this much hate on social media is also destructive. That's destructive to her mental health. There's no way that you can convince me that she just doesn't care about every comment. And that's just another example of how her parents are failing her. And what's really disturbing to me is this family was already making so much money. They have billions of views on their YouTube channel. They have millions of views on their TikToks. It doesn't make sense to me why they wanted to pivot to this niche, to having Izzy make these mukbangs. It just doesn't make sense. They have so much money already. It's greed. It is greed at the expense of their daughter's mental and physical well-being. Miguel and Suzanne Silva, this is my direct message to you. Stop making this content. Stop allowing this content to happen, or stop making Izzy make this content. I don't know what the situation is. Maybe she wants to be making it. But it's your job as parents to protect her. And this is going to get out of hand very quickly. This is on behalf of Izzy's well-being, your well-being, and the well-being of your family. This will impact the relationship with your daughter. I urge you to stop doing this and to make the content that you were making before. The slime videos, the games, the challenges, the tutorials. Do that again. Keep making that. You were making the same, or you were getting the same amount of views for those videos. I'm not sure why you transitioned into this content. but it's dangerous. And even your comment section is starting to worry about Izzy. And while that may be engagement, that's not going to last. Izzy will self-destruct from doing this. So please, don't allow it. Don't force it. Just do what you were doing before. It was successful. This is just a reminder that my videos are not meant to spread hate, but to spread awareness of child endangerment and child exploitation on social media. Everything I've said today is my opinion and my opinion only and should not be taken as fact. All videos and information have been found from public sources. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like.